Big Safe.
Fat Man Scoop, Brooklyn Clan. What's up, y'all? This is Fat Man Scoop. And right now, you watching the sensei, the number one, the king, my dude, Big Brando. He taught me, personally, me, Fat Man Scoop. All you gotta do is keep your mouth closed and your ears open. Listen to the man talk. That's knowledge personified right there. And I wouldn't trust nobody else but my dude, Big Brando. And I said it. Fat Man Scoop, Big Brando. Let's go.
What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today let's talk about vinyl mistakes that I used to make all the time. Now, I understand that there's a lot of people that find my videos, especially my older videos where I'm showing how I use my Cameo 3, how I'm cutting vinyl and pressing shirts and all that good stuff. But there's also a lot of other channels that are more geared towards vinyl and heat transfer vinyl and vinyl cutting that have way better information that I have to offer. So I want to try to bang out a few of these common vinyl questions in this one video, and hopefully it helps some people out, and hopefully this video finds a lot of people that have these same questions. One of the main questions is, how do I store my vinyl? I've shown in some of the other videos where I have like a grid wall, has these little hooks, and then I just put all the rolls on top. Easy way to do it. They also make these vinyl storage things where it kind of looks like a half circle with holes on the side, and then you stick the vinyl through. Like if you had smaller, like something less than a yard, you could stick it through there. And then some people just rubber band it and throw it on a shelf. You know, I do a mixture of all of those things. Here's some vinyl right here from EconoTransfer. That is in these little bags. They're on the rolls. And then I just kind of put them down and then use them as needed. But this is how they come. Now, one of the other questions I get is, how do I price out my vinyl jobs? This is fairly easy, and I break this down in other videos. If you ever just looked up Big Brando vinyl pricing or Big Brando pricing in the YouTube search bar, maybe I'll make a separate video about how to use the YouTube search bar and the benefits of it. But if you ever YouTube searched Big Brando pricing, I'll have a bunch of videos that come up about pricing vinyls in one of them, and I show how I break it down. What I do is I take the total cost of the vinyl that I'm buying, and then I break it down. If it's a 5-yard roll, I break down that number to 1 yard, and then from there I break it down to 1 foot. So that's basically how I do it. If you weren't buying a 5-yard roll, how much did it cost for that 1 yard? And then you break that 1 yard into feet, and there's 3 feet in a yard. Then you find it how much it costs per foot, and then you can break it down even smaller into like 6 inches or whatever you're using. This is how you get your total dollar amount for the vinyl. So you got to make sure you charge your customer that, because you want to get an accurate material cost for your client, right? So you charge for the blank t-shirt, and then you charge for how much vinyl was used. This brings me to my next question. A lot of people have been saying, hey, you know what? I had a customer come out and they wanted red glitter vinyl on 2 t-shirts, but I couldn't find red glitter in 1 yard roll, so I had to buy 5 yards of it. Do I charge the customer for that full 5-yard roll? Yes and no. You can do that and say, hey, you know what? I don't usually stock this color, so if you did want, you know, red glitter or whatever color it is that you don't keep on hand, you would have to pay for all of the vinyl for it, right? And sometimes that'll make them change their mind and be like, oh, well, do you got regular red? And be like, yeah, I keep regular red on hand. It'll be this much, blah, blah, blah. It's all about being upfront with the customer. What I've noticing is a lot of people aren't upfront with the customer out the gate. What they do is they'll say, hey, you want red glitter? Yeah, I could do that for you. This is my normal cost for a t-shirt, blah, blah, blah. Then they find out that they have to buy 5 yards of red glitter because whatever supplier they're going through doesn't just have 1 yard of red glitter. And then they eat the cost. Or they say, oh, you know what? I'll keep it on hand and I'll stock it now because I'll get my money back after. And then nobody else comes back to use red glitter. That happens all the time. And that's how you end up with a million different colors in your shop. So this is one of my big mistakes that I used to make all the time, is I used to take in a lot of jobs just like this. Somebody come to me and say, hey man, I need 5 t-shirts using this specific green, like Kelly green or something like that. So I order 5-yard roll of Kelly green. I only use maybe a yard of it, and now I'm left with 4 yards of Kelly green. That just sits on my shelf because nobody else is coming to the shop asking for Kelly green vinyl on a t-shirt. So now I just have the vinyl in my shop, and then I take on more jobs, right? So now somebody wants burnt orange and somebody else wants lavender. These are all colors that I don't usually stock. I keep on hand: white, black, royal blue, and red and yellow mostly. Those are the colors that usually people kind of choose from and say, all right, yeah, these will work for us, because I'm just changing up the t-shirt color sometimes and getting kind of crafty with what I do. But I noticed I started getting a lot more specific colors because maybe somebody wanted to match some sneakers, or maybe somebody's having a birthday party and the color theme is this, which is cool. But I had a hard time turning away business at the time, and I'm just like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I could do that for you. And this is a long time ago when I was just buying my vinyl from McLogan, and they didn't have just vinyl on the wall where they cut it out for you. It was pre-cut ThermoFlex 5-yard rolls that are pre-packaged up. That was it, 5 yards, and that was it. There was no 1 yard, or there's no 12 inches of this and trying out a bunch of different colors. It was, you paid like $40-$45 for a 5-yard roll by 15 inches of ThermoFlex, and that was that. So if somebody came to me and said, hey man, I really like this plum color, can you get this vinyl? I'm like, yeah, I could get that for you. And they're only ordering 2 t-shirts. Now I'm going and buying $40 worth of vinyl for 2 t-shirts, and I'm eating the cost because I'm stocking it and just saying, oh, you know what, somebody else will come and then I'll get the money off of that. I already bought it. It's good to have options. That's what I was thinking, and that's what I used to tell myself. That's a big mistake. We got to remember that vinyl takes up a lot of space. When you have a lot of it, you're taking up shelf space, you're taking up a lot of space. And then if your vinyl isn't on the cardboard roll, and let's just say it's like rolled up loosely and you taped it up or rubber banded up, if you're stacking them like the rolls on top of each other, those things are starting to crush the bottom layer, and then you're getting creases in that vinyl, and then it's hard to cut vinyl that's creased up. It's a big ordeal. So for the people that are in this position right now of not wanting to turn away work and you're trying to keep the customer happy, we do have the option to like buy just 1 yard from suppliers. Like I use EconoTransfer now, and EconoTransfer makes it pretty easy to get a lot of different Econo V colors or Econo Puff colors or specialty vinyl or whatever it is, whatever you wanted to do. If you're looking for reflective stuff, if you're looking for neon, puff, they got it all. Just go to EconoTransfer. I'll leave the link for you in the description box. They got a million different colors on there. But personally, what I like to do is I like to keep my popular colors stocked on hand. So I would buy more if it's like 10-15 yards of white and black, because I use those a lot. Then I would stock those colors. And then if I was using other colors, I would pick a standard red and a standard blue and a standard yellow. That's what I keep on hand in my shop. Majority of the people that come looking for custom shirts or shirts made with vinyl, it's exactly that, a colored t-shirt with white vinyl. Sometimes it might be a black shirt with black and white vinyl. Sometimes it's just black shirt with red vinyl. Sometimes it's a white shirt with blue vinyl, whatever. But when I talk to the customers, sometimes if they're asking for glitter or metallics or something that I don't keep on hand, I like to try to talk them out of it. And then let them know what I do have to offer. This is what I have on hand. This is how much it costs. These are the colors that I have to offer that I could get for you. Yeah, I can knock out your order pretty quick. If not, I'm gonna have to order. It's gonna take a little longer. You're gonna have to pay for the extra vinyl that I don't use because I don't keep that stuff on hand. It's a conversation between you and the client, but it's always best to be upfront with the client first. Instead of just being a yes man and saying, yeah, I can do whatever you want. Understand you might have to eat the cost on some of that stuff. Understand that that extra vinyl is gonna take up space in your shop or your workspace. Understand that the client doesn't give a shit about none of that back end stuff. The client only cares about the shirt that you're making for them and that everything is spelled correctly and it looks the way they want it to look. That's all. So keeping your customer happy and satisfied and comfortable with what you're doing all starts from the consultation. The moment you decide to take on that job and you're talking to the client, you don't have to pretend to be a know-it-all, or you don't have to pretend that you have every single color imaginable. Be real with yourself and be real with your client and just be like, hey, check it out. I don't keep that color on hand. If you did want to do it, I would have to order X amount of yards and this is how much it costs. You're gonna have to eat that cost because I don't keep that color on hand. If they don't want to go that route, you have to be able to talk them into a different color and explain to them this is what it'll look like. We could achieve that same color or that same look if we did this, this, and this, or if we use this color on this type of t-shirt. There's different options out there. And I get it, some customers might be dead set on using glitter or metallics. And sometimes you might have to bite the bullet and be like, all right, cool, I get it. This is what you want to do, but this is what the price is gonna be. Do not bend your price because the customer's starting to walk. If the customer decides to walk because of your pricing, let that customer walk. Do not eat the cost for that customer because they don't care about your bills. They don't care about what you have going on. All they care about is their t-shirt. You know what I mean? So stand your ground, be confident in the services that you can offer, and do not hesitate to say no and turn down certain work if it doesn't make sense to you financially, emotionally, physically. If you're not feeling it, do not take it on. But if you don't have no problem with stocking a million different colors of vinyl in your shop, maybe space is unlimited in your shop, money is unlimited in your shop, whatever the case is, by all means, go for it. Stock every single color imaginable. But for myself, I don't have that luxury. I like to keep certain colors on hand. And then if it's a specialty color, I like to talk price up front with the client before I take that job on, before I place the order for that vinyl, all of that. Sometimes I'll do it right there when the client's sitting down with me, and I'll pull up EconoTransfer and be like, check it out. This is what it's gonna cost. This is how much they have. This is what the shipping's gonna look like. That way, very transparent on what's going on. All right, hopefully this video helps some people out. Do not make that same mistake I did and say yes to everybody and stock all these random colors of vinyl, because you're gonna lose on some of that vinyl. Like I said, man, when I used to stock my stuff up, if it wasn't on that cardboard roll, the vinyl underneath was getting crushed and it was unusable at that point. Same thing goes for decal vinyl too. I used to take on a lot of different decal jobs. Decal vinyl's a lot cheaper, but when you start stocking a million different colors, it gets a little overwhelming, man. So now I keep it very loose with the same colors: white, black, red, blue, yellow. Very, very minimal color choices for the client. But sometimes when you give them those options, they almost force themselves to choose with what you have on hand because they want to get it done as soon as possible. You know what I mean? Play that into your favor, all right? If you have any questions, make sure you leave it in the comments. Hopefully I answered some questions about vinyl for the people that had these questions or that are falling into this same mistake of taking on every job and not wanting to say no to certain jobs and you eating the cost on that vinyl. Don't do that no more. And if you wanted to check out EconoTransfer and what they have to offer, the link is in the bio. The link is in the description box. Or you could just go to econo.bigbrando.com. That'll take you straight to there. All right? Follow me on Instagram, BigBrandoTV. Catch you guys on the next one, man.